What's up, everybody? Welcome to Open Exchange. I am Mel.
And I am Shfanta.
So, thank you for joining us today. I do want to remind you guys, and I'll put this up on the screen, but if you have topics that you would like for us to discuss, things that you would like for us to go over, or just our opinion on something, then shoot us an email. Our email is oexchange526@gmail.com. So I'll put it right here somewhere like this. So how you feeling today?
I feel good. I like the thanks for asking people about, questions or comments, because that's what we do, right? We start the conversation or continue a conversation that people are having, and it's fun. It's fun.
So, I little different setup too. We got a little different setup. When we had Karis on, we liked the table look. We had some more lighting. So, all this homemade production is really working itself out. But
well, maybe we should ask people. Did you like the table or did you like the couch? Ask our viewers.
We'll go back and forth.
Yeah, we'll go back and forth. But yeah, again, either email us or add to the comments. Let us know which one did you which setup did you like the best, like the table or the couch.
So, which one you like?
Right now I'm liking the table, but maybe when we get in the fall, it's a little bit cozier. I might like the couch.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and also the people may see that the beard is gone.
Yes. Well, I'm disappointed. Tell the people why the beard is gone.
Why don't you tell the people why you like the beard?
I like the beard because it's a nice look on you. You were trying to grow it out. You had a 5 o'clock shadow, and it's a different look for you. It's a different look. And beards are in.
No, I can't get past the history is I can't get past the ugly stage. So I don't prefer the ugly stage. Because there's an ugly stage and it doesn't look professional. And then what I do, I feel like I need to have a professional look.
I get that. So maybe next summer, you try it again next summer. Just start earlier. If you started kind of late in the summer, that's kind of, if you start it earlier, then your ugly phase can be like probably doing while you're on vacation, or not seeing as many people, like hardly none. So by the time school rolls back around, you're past your ugly phase. What you call your ugly phase.
The problem is I stay in the ugly phase longer than most people. Because nobody in our family actually has a nice beard.
Your brother?
Well, my brother.
Yeah, your brother does. Yeah. Your brother does.
Yeah, and my cousin does.
That's true.
But I don't know. It just does not work well.
I think you just need a little bit more patience.
Yeah.
Maybe. You need some more patience.
Yeah. We'll see. But I like the beard. I like a bearded look. Like, I don't mind facial hair at all.
Yeah.
I keep the little goatee, but I just don't like when I'm trying to do the full beard. It's just like.
Well, there's some other products out there you can try too that might help, stimulate your hair follicles and make them grow faster.
Yeah, you say that all the time, but
you can try that.
I think I've tried.
Or drink some teas.
I think I've tried a lot of
some herbs.
I think I've tried a lot of different things. So I just may not be. I have resolved the fact that I'm not a beard guy. It's okay. I know it adds, a distinguished look.
Yeah. And it's different.
As they say, gravitas.
It's different.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know if I'm totally giving up, but the ugly phase is not. It is truly ugly.
It really wasn't that bad, Mel. It's really not that bad. That's what I said, but
we'll have to see. Anyway, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling like summer's over. Summer.
You don't have to feel that. It is. You have to feel it.
I feel like summer
It's
is
definitely over.
Summer's over, and the relaxation and the schedule that you just kind of flow with is over. Mm-hmm. It's over, and it's back to the boom, boom, boom. But you know, I like fall. I saw some pumpkin spice in the grocery store the other day. It's out.
It's way too early for that because it's still 90 degrees. It's only August. I don't understand.
It's not.
And pumpkin spice really is not even that good.
Okay. Let's start by saying, in my opinion. Don't say that.
In my opinion.
Thank you.
It's not. It's overhyped. It's overhyped.
Okay. Well, you're entitled to your opinion.
I mean, like, for it to be in the coffees and the teas and all that stuff already.
But see, it's not.
I get it on a very cold day or chilly day. The smell of it, you know.
But
it's really just the smell because the taste is not really that.
I think taste is good, but I also think it's all the things that come along with it. Like pumpkin spice is the signaling of we are getting into fall. Fall I like fall because you can wear multiple layers. It's the air is gonna get a little bit cooler. It's gonna be a little bit crisper. It's gonna be cool on Friday night, sitting out at the football game. Sunday evening, cook, watch a couple of football games with you.
Yeah,
just relax.
Good weather. You're just saying things that happen in the fall.
But
pumpkin spice.
I think I began by saying that it brings those ideas with it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's not. It's made up. It's not. It's not. It's one of those things that's been pushed on us.
But
like it.
But I like fall too. I like fall. I like candles, sweater weather.
I never was a big fan of fall, honestly, especially as a student, because that meant let's go back to school.
As a college student, I like fall because it meant let's go back to school. Like we've been at home, so I'm coming back. We come back to campus, being with your friends, going to the games in Bowman Gray Stadium. Shout out to Winston-Salem State with class of '99. I'm just saying it. And then homecoming is coming, which is later this year.
Still too early. I still got summer brain because we don't really get to experience summer like we did back in the day.
Well, that's because you're older.
No, I think it's because of the work that we do.
How did you experience it back in the day?
It seemed like it was forever. But because we're scheduled, we have so much to do and we're still working in the summer. It's like it's a lot of it's like it's you plan it out. You've planned out so much that it just goes away. Because when you start looking at the weeks just disappear. Okay. So we're gonna talk today about, to piggyback on, kind of bummed out that summer's over. But on a more serious note, dealing with disappointment.
Because you are disappointed about something. Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed out because we don't. And then you have all these plans that you want to do, and when something happens or you get thrown off, you just kind of like, oh man, because you got to try to squeeze all your vacation time into one time of the year. That's the only thing that's not good about being an educator, but it is what it is. So. Disappointment. So dealing with disappointment, we talking about real stuff now. So not something a little more heavier than just summer vacation, but dealing with disappointment and what does that mean? So like, how do you think about disappointment when things happen, things want you to? How do you take it, first of all? Like, do you feel like you handle disappointment well?
Probably 5 years ago, I would have said, "Oh yeah, I handle that well." But No, I don't. I haven't handled it well. I haven't handled it well, and I think it. I think it really does have to do with my age. I think when you're younger and you're disappointed, it's easy to be like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I can keep on going, you know. And I'll just try again. As I've gotten older, when I'm disappointed, I kind of second guess myself and just kind of like, is it me? Is it something that I did? Mm-hmm. So what I've learned to say is that, I mean, it is what it is. The disappointment came, and so I really do try to lean into that feeling of, oh gosh, it really didn't work out. Like, I lean into my sad. I might be mad. I lean into it to express that feeling and not try to like work through it extra quick. But at the same time, I don't allow it. I've learned not to allow it to like lead me the rest of the year. Like, it happened, you don't like it, it is what it is, and now you gotta keep moving.
Yeah, I think I think it always comes as a surprise, because it wouldn't be disappointment if you kind of see it coming, right? It kind of It's kind of like, difference between like disappointment and all that now. But if you see it coming, then it's not. I think disappointment kind of catches you off guard.
It blindsides you.
Yeah, something that's blindsided. So, I think one of the things we need to think about is, kind of helping people with disappointment. Because I would say as you get older, you do handle it better, because you've had experience in handling disappointment. Like for me, I think when I was younger, disappointment was like the worst. Mm-hmm. Moments of disappointment, not getting a job, or things not working out, or wanting a financial thing to work out, mm-hmm. or whatever it was. When heartbreak, when somebody in the family or loved ones or whoever, when they disappoint you, let you down. I think that friends let you down, whoever. I think that you've had experience with that, for me. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of don't get my hopes up too quickly, because I'm like, well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, that's where we different, because I'm all in. Like, I see myself doing this thing. I feel like it's going to work out. And I guess it comes from, like, being younger and really, like, feeling like, oh, no, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going to get it. And so as I've gotten older and I don't necessarily get the thing that I wanted the first time, it's kind of like, what's really happening here? Like, why did that not work out for me? I literally did not see that happening. I'm blindsided.
That's interesting. But I think the things that we know is that disappointment is going to come.
Yes, it's going to come.
Regardless of, where you are in life, or, mm-hmm. How much money you make, or what your status is. Yeah. Or, how high you climb.
Who you know.
You may have disappointment, even within your job. Like there's something that you want to happen, a person that you wanted to hire, yeah. A situation that you wanted to work out and it doesn't. So it's kind of like, helping people now deal with when a disappointment comes. So I think a lot of times, I think the first thing is leading into the first thing that we can talk about. I think the first thing is that disappointment, it can't, even though it hurts, mm-hmm. and it affects you, I think you have to be wise enough to know that it's not always about you. Sometimes the situation can be out of your control. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? But if it's work related, it's easier to say, well, I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't I didn't have the final call. So I put my suggestion out there. we're going to go in a different direction. We're going to go with a different candidate. That disappointment, I'm like, But I think when it's more, for me, when it's more so like something that involved me directly. So maybe it's layers to disappointment.
It is.
As you get older.
But the first tip was that it may not be about you.
That's true. It may not be about me. It may not be about me. And I think what I've learned to say to myself is, you can be told no. It may not be about you. There's some other things happening behind the scenes that you don't know anything about.
Right.
So you just need to go with it.
Right. So if that's the case, then I think, in addition to that is, I think people need to be a little, need to remember to be kind to themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's not about you.
Yeah, I think we can. I'll speak about me. I'm just too hard on myself at times, because while I have my plan, my things that I wanted, it's just me. I don't know the overall plan.
Mm.
So not getting the thing that I wanted doesn't necessarily mean that I wasn't ready for it or I wasn't the best person for it. But there was a plan out there. So don't be so hard, because there's information that you don't have, that you may not even get.
Right.
So that's what I mean. Remember when I said earlier, like, you kind of lean into it, you allow yourself to feel it, you lean into it, but then you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep on walking. That's how I work through it. Like, yeah, that's not really how you saw this going, but at the same time, we can't stay right here. So let's just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. I think another thing you got to remember too is to surround yourself with positive people. There are going to be people that may not share the same mindset that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to be mindful of those people.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, we do have to pick ourselves up and keep moving when disappointment comes, or how to handle disappointment. But some people love to wallow in, that misery of disappointment, or that negative mindset, and so you gotta be around people that's gonna help you pull away from that.
Yeah, I call them positive. Your positive Paulas and your negative deals. I don't know. I guess that's why a lot of times if I'm trying to do something, I don't really, I tell you this all the time. I ain't really gonna say nothing to nobody past you, just because I'm trying to guard myself from the people that may not give me that support that I feel like I need at the time.
Mm. Yeah, but the support is good. You have to. It's good to find those people. I think it's your responsibility to find the people that is going to encourage you to keep moving,
Mm-hmm.
encourage you to try again,
Mm-hmm.
encourage you to, to remind you of what we talked about in step one, that may not have anything to do with you. We were talking to a friend about a recent disappointment of mine, and she gave me some really good advice. I mean, she gave me a one-liner that was like, great. Like, I don't even know, like, I think I like owe her some money or something. But she said, she said that rejection is God's protection.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yep.
that kind of helps you change your whole perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, like that right there put wind in my sails. Instead of people that, well, they did this, they said this, and it should have been you, it should have been this, and all they had to do is this, and all they got to do is that. That's not always helpful. Mm-hmm. I think you need to capture that.
Yeah.
But it's not always helpful to stay in that spot, because you don't ever bounce out of that if that's going to be where you land, or where you set up camp.
Right.
You won't necessarily learn all you need to learn from the experience.
Well, when you take that stance of rejection is God's protection, I think you can get to that next place of where you say, okay, well, this is a learning experience. There's something I'm supposed to learn from this. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's something I'm supposed to learn from this. What is it? What is the lesson? Be it that just wasn't for you. Like, that just wasn't for you, or it's not a no, it's just a not right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the things that, because you are not moving into that space, in the space that you are in, those things that you are getting to experience, that you would not have experienced if you had moved on to that next space that you're trying to go to. So that learning experience is key. Now, I don't say that because we're educators, but I mean, it's a learning experience.
So the thing is, use it as a learning experience, because if you learn from that, then you're able to set up next moves. You're able to refocus. You're able to figure out, let me weigh my strengths and weaknesses against this experience, or against what I just encountered, so I can be better.
Well, maybe not though. You may not. Sometimes the disappointment can be so heavy that you can't really see that there is a next move. I think the learning experience is like this right here. This is for later. So don't fly through it. Like, this right here is for later. So what really is happening around me that maybe hadn't happened before? Or is this something that has continued to happen? And let me step back and see if I have taken the same steps every time. Or is something else different happening? So with the learning experience, I'm in this space. There's something I need to learn here. And in that space is where you really need to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. The anger, the frustration, the sadness. You can't just like pray the feeling away. You can't just like work the feeling away. You have to, like, what is that thing that I'm feeling? Is it embarrassment? Is it disappointment? Because whatever it is, it has a name. And then you got to ask yourself, why am I feeling that? Because I feel like if you do not address that, the next time you experience disappointment, you may crash back into that same space, to that same feeling. So the question is, did you really learn what it is that you needed to learn in that space of disappointment?
So I think what you're saying is, so the next thing that we would say is allow yourself to feel it.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to hone in on the disappointment, where you get all that stuff out of the way. And this would probably be a good first tip, is to just, okay, accept it. And I don't mean accept it like give up, but accept it like, okay, this happened.
Yeah, this is where you are. Yeah. They really did tell you no. You really did read that email right. It happened. It's in black and white. What are you gonna do? Now, feel it, but after a while, you do have to get up, because you're supposed to be walking through the valley of death. It don't have to take you out. It's up to you though. It's up to you and how you see it, because that's not the end. They do go that deep, which goes back to that feeling. Like, leaning into the feeling, what am I supposed to be learning while I'm here in this space that I don't like? Especially if you say, I've been here before. Okay, what are we learning? What are we learning about ourselves?
Right. So I think the next thing would be to manage this disappointment, and to manage your expectations. So, and what I mean by that is, I think you have to evaluate whether this was a good step for me. Mm-hmm. Was this a good move for me? Mm-hmm. Was this something that I really should have gone after? Am I reaching too low? Am I reaching too high? Like a current thing that I just went through, it was kind of funny. I think I was reaching in one instance. I felt like I was reaching too low.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was reaching back. I was taking steps backwards, and then in some instances, I felt like it was the same type of thing, but I felt like this water was too deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think you have to really negotiate. You know where you are and figure out where you are and know what you want to do, and then manage. That will help you. In other words, manage the expectations.
Mm-hmm. 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 I I don't really have nothing to add to that because that was really good what you said. Management is key. Management is key. But you sound like you sound like you did a lot of self-reflection. Is that how you were able to manage your expectations?
I think your goals just have to be realistic. There's nothing wrong with having goals, but your goals have to be, you know, what we talk about all the time, smart goals. They have to be smart, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to be. You have to go after things that you feel that you're. First of all, that's your purpose. That's the things that you feel like you're ready to do. I think oftentimes it's hard though when you are trying to live on purpose
Mm-hmm.
and you know that like this is your calling. This is your, you know, this is what you were put on earth to do,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get an opportunity to do it, or you feel like you're not getting an opportunity to do it or to work in it.
I see that as that's how you are. What you are experiencing right now, this is for later. Because a lot of times people try to help people through situations, but they have not necessarily like really been through it, so they don't really get it. But what you have gone through, because there's gonna be a time where you are going to be pulling somebody. You're gonna reach back and pull somebody up that they're like, man, I'm going through. You were like, yep, I've been there, and this is what we're gonna do. So I really believe, and I think that's how I manage my expectation, and I deal with the disappointment is by saying this is for later. At my most frustrating times, this is for later.
You're going through this for later.
Yeah, this is what I'm going through right now. I'm gaining tools because I'm trying to get the lesson. I'm gaining tools that I'm going to need for later. And because I don't believe anything is wasted. And if I don't try to really be present for the lesson, then I'm not going to have all the tools that I need when I get to later. Because I'm getting to later. We're getting to later. We're not always going to be right here. The things that are for you, because if it's a part of your purpose, then I believe that you will be there. But being prepared while you're there and being able to help others, that's key.
If you notice, you know, when you go through life and, you know, when you finally attain that thing that you were wanting, I know that I've recognized that, you know, there's some times when, like, I remember when I was an assistant coach wanting to be a head coach. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we have a saying in coaching that, you know, the seat is only 18 inches wide, but if you slide down to that head coach seat, you know, just moving 18 inches, you feel the weight of, you know, basketball head coaching. You feel the weight of, oh man, everything that happens from this point on now is my responsibility.
Yeah.
So, you know, but you rely on experience. You rely on, you know, things that you have gone through to get you through. And being a head coach was so heavy, I forgot sometimes what it was like to be an assistant coach. You know, and the same thing from going from like teacher to assistant principal and all those things. You know, you take on more responsibility as you move up, but you always, tend to have what you need when you need it.
Absolutely.
So, it's like when you think about things being, you think about disappointment and not getting something that you wanted, or it's something not happening that you wanted, whether it was under your control or not under your control. I think the biggest thing is to understand that disappointment is a feeling. Feelings don't always last. And you have to stay in that learning mode of, okay, so what can we do better if we're here again? What can we take away from this? What can we do where we're not feeling these feelings, or caught in this area where there's a work thing or whatever. So I don't think the disappointment is something that you should dwell on as much as the experience.
Yeah, that's good. Because the experience, like you said, is what helps you to really be a leader, right? Leaders have experiences. And if you're good at what you do, it's really off of the experience. I think about when I was teaching, it was the experience. My last years of teaching were far better than those first years of teaching because of the experience. But disappointment is real. You will feel some feelings that you haven't felt before, but you don't have to let those feelings overtake you.
Right. So I think we kind of laid out some things here that could help, dealing with disappointment and getting a handle and getting back into the mode of, this happened, didn't like it, but it's not the end of the world. This is just a feeling. This is just something that I'm experiencing. This is just something that I'm going through, and eventually, if I learn from this, then the next time I face this, I'll be better for it.
Yep.